Once upon a time in a quiet, picturesque village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there was a legend that sent shivers down the spines of the villagers. It was the legend of the monster in the dark. The tale had been passed down through generations, and no one knew whether it was fact or fiction, but one thing was certain: nobody dared venture into the woods after nightfall. In this village lived a young boy named Thomas, a curious and fearless child who was known for his adventurous spirit. Despite the warnings of the elders and the frightening tales of the monster, Thomas was determined to uncover the truth. He couldn't resist the allure of the mysterious woods that lay beyond his home. One moonless night, as the villagers locked themselves indoors and lit candles to keep the darkness at bay, Thomas decided it was time to face his fears. He donned a thick, warm coat, grabbed a lantern, and set off towards the foreboding forest. His heart pounded like a drum as he ventured deeper into the inky blackness. As he walked deeper into the woods, the silence was oppressive, broken only by the sound of his own footsteps. The shadows seemed to dance and whisper secrets, and the chilling breeze sent a shiver down his spine. But Thomas pressed on, his lantern casting a small circle of light around him. Suddenly, he heard a rustling in the underbrush, and his heart leaped into his throat. The forest seemed to come alive with eerie sounds, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. The legend of the monster weighed heavily on his mind, and he began to question the wisdom of his decision. Just when he was on the verge of turning back, Thomas heard a soft, plaintive whimper. He froze in his tracks, his eyes scanning the darkness. With cautious steps, he followed the sound, his lantern revealing a trembling, huddled figure. To his astonishment, the figure was not a monster at all, but a small, frightened creature. It was a wolf pup, its fur matted and dirty, its eyes wide with fear. Thomas knelt down, his initial fear giving way to compassion. He reached out a hand, and the pup timidly nuzzled it. Thomas realized that the villagers' fears had led them to believe in a monster that didn't exist. The real monster was their own ignorance and the darkness of their imagination. He carefully picked up the pup and decided to bring it back to the village. When Thomas returned to the village with the wolf pup in his arms, the villagers were shocked. They had expected the worst, but instead, Thomas had brought back a harmless creature. The legend of the monster in the dark began to unravel, and the villagers started to question their unfounded fears. In the end, Thomas not only dispelled the fear that had haunted the village for generations but also found a loyal friend in the wolf pup. The villagers learned a valuable lesson that night: sometimes, the monsters we fear the most are the ones we create in our minds, and the darkness itself can hold the most beautiful surprises if we dare to venture into it with an open heart and an open mind.